Chapter 10. He scowled when the woman called him Johnny. She held the paper in her hand, and he could see that his name was on it. His name was also printed in thick letters on a tag that flapped from the handle of his suitcase. John. So why did the woman call him Johnny? A dumb nickname? A wimp name? He began to hate her for it. But he wouldn't let her know. He kept his face frozen, expressionless. He had mastered that. No one knew of any of his feelings. He stared at the floor. The social work lady was going over the paperwork with the woman. The woman would have to sign for him, as if he were a package from UPS. What a joke that was. The last people had signed for him too, and then returned him. Defective merchandise. You could always return that. Didn't fit. Wrong color. Missing parts. Screw loose. Ha! Maybe that was his defect, the thing that got him sent back. He had asked for Coke, but the woman gave him lemonade. Holding the glass, he wandered into the next room, an ugly room with old-fashioned furniture and framed photographs of grouchy, old-fashioned people wearing stupid clothes. There was a man in a uniform smiling, and the photo was tinted so the man's lips were pink, like a girl's. It wasn't even a good uniform, like a Green Berets or a Navy SEAL's. John would be a Navy SEAL if he could, someday. They swam carrying knives, then came to beaches at night and killed enemies there, very silently before swimming away again. John wanted to do that. There was a piano, ruffled curtains, flowered wallpaper. He hated it all. And where was the television? Johnny! It was the woman. He'd already forgotten her name and didn't care. He wouldn't be here that long. He didn't need to call her anything, especially if she kept calling him Johnny, not his name. He would call her nothing. That would be her name. Ha! He didn't reply. He poked a key on the piano, a white one at the far end, and heard the high sound it made. Johnny? She said again. And now she was in the doorway, looking at him. The lemonade stays in the kitchen. It's just a rule I have, so things don't get spilled on the furniture or the piano. Rule I have. Rule I have. Fine. He had rules too. One was don't smile back, even if they smile at you, and she was smiling at him now. She reached for the glass and took it from him. Do you like the piano? I took lessons on this very same piano when I was your age. My mother had to nag me to practice, but I'm glad she did. He poked a key at the other end, and the sound was deep. If you like, I could teach you while you're here. I used to give lessons. I still have some old books around. John shrugged and turned away. Have you met Toby? She asked. Oh, great. Someone else? One place he'd been had 4 kids besides him. One kept twisting his arm when no one was looking, then called him Crybaby. Toby was a crybaby name. He looked over then, thinking that, and saw that it was a dog. Not even a real breed, not a Rottweiler or Pit Bull or anything, just a mutt. He reached out toward it without thinking, but it blocked away. It backed away. It was scared of him. Good. He liked it when things were scared of him. It gave him power. Toby, the woman said to the dog in a sweet, teasing voice, be nice. Don't be scared. This is Johnny. He glared at her. John, he said fiercely. Oh, I'm sorry. Here, John, she said to him and reached into the pocket of her apron. She gave him a bone-shaped biscuit. He's not used to boys. It's just been the 2 of us. But give him that and he'll be your new best friend. Then she turned and took the lemonade glass to the kitchen. The social work lady was at the door holding her briefcase and preparing the fake goodbye smile she always used when she left him someplace new. He didn't look at her. He looked at the dog. It stared back at him with big brown eyes. He had not been at a house with a dog before. John knelt. Here, he said, and held the biscuit toward Toby. Nervously, tentatively, the dog leaned forward. Its ears were upright, alert, its eyes on John's hand holding the treat. A pink tongue appeared. Just as the dog was about to take the biscuit, John pulled away. He laughed harshly, and Toby looked confused. Thought you'd get it, huh? Thought I'd like you? He spoke in a low voice so the woman wouldn't hear him. She was at the door, waving to the car the social work lady drove. It was a business car, with the city seal on its door. She probably didn't even have her own. She was probably married to some jerk who wouldn't let her have a car, who said she was a dumb broad, too dumb to drive. She had to take the bus to work, he figured. Carefully, he put the dog biscuit into his pocket. I might give it to you later, he whispered to the dog. It was a good game to get someone to believe you, even a dumb dog. Get them to trust you, then surprise them. Ha! He'd keep pulling the biscuit away forever. He pounded once with both hands on the piano. Then he went to the kitchen, picked up the glass from the table, and gulped the rest of the lemonade. If he didn't, she would take it away from him, hoping he would cry so she could hit him. She was holding his suitcase now and smiling at him. He frowned and wiped his sticky mouth with the back of one hand. "Where's the TV?" he asked in a low voice.